What do you think the best part of traveling is? Is it the food, or is it the conversation, or is it the sights and sound? If you're ready to explore, we are ready to show you the best way how. We'll give you access to the best luxury getaway sites in the Kingdom of Eswatini, and of course show you vacation sites that suit your budget, because you do not need a lot of money to actually have a great time. Join us on the next adventure on Buhle Bethu, only on Eswatini TV.
This is Eswatini TV News at 8 live from Babane. I am Notilisi Tole alongside Makabiso Nkambule. First up, here's a look at our headlining stories. The Minister for Home Affairs encourages the ministry's staff to work with integrity. The Minister of Tinkhundla says constituency headmen are supposed to be custodians of the Tinkhundla system of governance. The House of Assembly, in partnership with the Elections and Boundaries Commission, hosted organized campaigns for aspiring women regional members of parliament. Good evening and thank you for joining us. The Minister for Home Affairs, Princess Lindiwe, encourages the ministry's staff to work with integrity, adhere to moral principles and avoid corruption. The minister said this in a first-time engagement with her ministry's employees since her appointment to office in the 12th Parliament.
The minister emphasized on the importance of effective teamwork to ensure improved service delivery.
Nothing beats teamwork. I urge you to refrain from corruption so we improve our service delivery. Immigration laws, the regulation of NGOs and church bodies will be top of my priority.
Welcoming the minister, the Principal Secretary Nhlanhla Nxumalo expressed gratitude to the minister for her commitment to the ministry's accomplishment during office in the 11th Parliament.
Sina 24/7 flagship
We accomplished so much under your leadership in the previous Parliament, Minister. You committed yourself to the ministry's civil registration and mopping exercise and the 24-hour operation of Ngwenya Border Gate.
The minister reaffirmed her commitment to cooperating with the ministry's employees in the coming parliamentary term. For Eswatini TV News, Nelson Ndlangamandla, report compiled by Notsiles Tole, visuals by Smuva Shongwe, Mbabane.
The Minister of Tinkhundla, Skhumbuzo Dlamini, says programs to develop chiefdoms are underway so that they reach international standards and also assist in educating the nation on the Tinkhundla system of governance. He was speaking during a meeting with Manzini chiefs at the Manzini RA offices on Monday.
The Minister of Tinkhundla, Skhumbuzo Dlamini, says they will ensure not to leave behind all traditional leaders, especially chiefs and Bandabengosi, because they play a big role in governance. He says they play a vital role in preserving peace and stability as well as community development. The minister says the country is now stable and at peace because of the role they played. He says it would be improper to rush to any chiefdom without consulting traditional leaders. The chiefs also appreciated the commitment by the minister to work along with them.
Nakusagijinywake phela ngoba ngeke indvuna igijime yodvana sonke kude kuthi sengemhloshana kunjani vele selibhodlile libhubeza ukuthi ngwe akube njalo malangeni.
Mina nje ngunakile ukuthi ema structures lawa esintfu latsinzana nabo babe asafile kulelive.
The chiefs appreciated the attitude shown by the minister in ensuring development. The Minister of Tinkhundla is determined to ensure service delivery and ensure that everyone is involved in the Tinkhundla operation and that everyone involved in the Tinkhundla operation plays their role. For Eswatini TV News, I'm Kian MCB with Nelson Ndlangamandla and Smuva Shongwe, Manzini.
The Minister of Tinkhundla, Skhumbuzo Dlamini, says constituency headmen and Buchopho are supposed to be custodians of the Tinkhundla system of governance and pass it on to future generations. The Minister says they must also ensure that they serve their communities. He was speaking at the George Hotel on Monday during the induction of Tinkhundla elected officials.
As a strong advocate for our Tinkhundla system, I am readily available as the Minister of Tinkhundla Administration and Development to spearhead a robust program in collaboration with you all to promote common and widespread understanding of the Tinkhundla system of government. It is necessary for all Emaswati and the younger generation in particular to learn about the system which governs our country, and we all have a role to play in that regard.
The Hoho Regional Administrator, Princess Tsanzile, and the Principal Secretary in the Ministry of Tinkhundla, Nonhlanhla Dlamini, reminded them that they are here to serve the nation.
Ngiyacela ukuthi Minister vela batholele ibudget kuphinde kubuyo ngalenye ilanga sebase fieldini sebabonile ukuthi kusetshenzwa njani babuye kuhlalwe phansi kubonakala ukuthi lele batowutshelwa kona namhlala endlini kagogo kuyevakala yini.
Run in your lane. Hayi le turf nina nikubita ngathi sikusikana titulo. Sicela singakwendi lokho ngoba bese kubambelela lo msebenzi our core business. Our core business kuyothuthukisa sive live nebandlu.
They warned them against corruption which should not be mentioned within the ministry at any given time. They also advised them to consult whenever they need clarity on anything and follow protocol and respect one another. They were reminded that the core mandate is to serve the electorate and avoid putting their agendas first. They were taught to educate themselves on the Regional Development Fund, which is there to assist the nation in fighting poverty. For Eswatini TV News, I'm Kian MCB at the George in Manzini.
The House of Assembly, in partnership with the Elections and Boundaries Commission, hosted organized campaigns for aspiring regional members of parliament. Regional women MPs elects were the first to campaign for votes.
Livela Kangwane Bahlonishwa is exporting, I think, about 74% of its product lesiyenda la Kangwane. Kule ma products lesikhuluma ngawo lokufaka ekhathi shukela olivela Kangwane lo raw material. Meanwhile, lokungathi it's a thorn in the country. Kukhulunywa ngeunemployment.
Ngingumuntu lomshalo limako ngisite. Given the chance of becoming the regional MP, I commit myself to working with all of you members of parliament at Tinkhundla not only Manzini, but live longer than Eswatini. Ngoba my focus is in the youth.
Bahlonishwa uma ngabe mangikhetha ukuthi ngibe ngumake wakaManzini region, ngitawubambisana nabo bahlonishwa kubuka nathi tikhwama letilwane busweti etinkhundleni letimbili lesikhwama seRDF nesikhwama saka micro projects.
I promise to be a great asset kini Mahlonishwa kule timo lesidibana nato silivela Kangwane. I'll address the issue of unemployment ngekusita ngini Bahlonishwa because iyachubeka iyenyuka iya etulu noma ngabe ema strategies sekhona nema policies la zanyiwe but the rates is still iya etulu Bahlonishwa.
Imvo lengiyatiko kakhulu kutempilo ngathi ukuthi there is nothing le better in life than the wealth. The wealth of the world is health. So no more investor kanganani kulokunye if unik health fanana ukuthi you are losing it's a losing play because you'll go step forward then 10 step back because investment yakho utaba lide kwelide with time.
Libombo region candidates followed.
Ekusebenteni kwami vele bengisebenza nebantu labacinzetelekile. Kungiko lobo kungenda ngibe nesifiso ukuthi ngalelinye ilanga nangake ngifike eParliament ngicabanga ukuthi kukhona lapho nami ngingafike ngifake isandla khona ukuthi sizame kwelekelela nababantu labeswele kangaka.
Ke indzaba yekuhlukubeteka kwabomake noma kuhlukubetana ngebulili eveni nako lesikubonako lokukhula malunga siyathi ukuthi umthetho ukhona lobukele doda indzaba letho kepha siyabona ukuthi solo kuhlukubetana kuyakhula.
Nina nje manje ngikhethile ndaba wenu nginisebentele ngineluleke la kufanele ngileluleke khona ngibe nesigaba letiningi ngibe deputy speaker ngaba acting speaker ngaba Pan African Parliament ngaba ka SADC.
My passion is working with the youth. Njengoba ngisebentile nabo in the country and even in other countries ngaphandle kwale live. Wabese luyavuka leligcozi lekuthi I have done so much for other countries, for other people. Why can't I come back home and plant this knowledge and plant this education?
Ngiyathembisa ukuthi ngidawubambisa wonke Swaziland kuko konke lesikwendako ngiyumfana ngiyathumeka ngisebentile ngebantwana kuma charities nase ma committee esikole Thembelisha Mhlume sisebenza ngebantwana so ngibona netidzingo tebantwana nebantwana labaswele.
Aspiring regional women MPs from the Eswatini region also had a chance to campaign for votes.
Imisebenzi kude Eswatini kuningi singakubala besikhankasa senda konke bengingenele kuba ngo-MP nami kwaba ke ngiloko ekugcineni so ngiyati ukuthi ema-MP la khona kungena bekafisa ini ngithifisile ukuthi ngiwasupport kuko konke.
Ngiyathembisa abahlonishwa ukuthi ngitanibambisa konke lentakwenta etinkundleni tenu tandla tami bahlonishwa tivulekile. Bahlonishwa njengoba kukhulumekile esibayeni ngetehlakalo letikhona eveni ingwenyama ithite asigijimeni sithi nkwe bahlonishwa ngiyathembisa ukuthi bahlonishwa ngiyacela ukuthi nimane ningikhethe ngigijime kanye nani.
Also would like to run with a vision yemakhosi ngale live ukuthi nalo lifukuleke kutemnotho lindlondlobale tenhlala kahle njengalamanye amave emhlaba.
Ndawuhlaba inyanza leyo endzabeni yekuhlukubeteka bomake nebamvana kuloko bahlonishwa ngithi inyanza leyo ngiyacela lokuthi manje ningivumele endlini ngibambisane nani. Haleluya. Number 2 bahlonishwa lekusiphethe eveni lengicela kunibambisa kuko indzaba yabantu labasha indzaba yomsebenzi.
Ngingahamba mina eParliament sikwati ukukhulumisa indzaba yetinkundla tournaments sengicalile kuyisebenta ngosam sponsor sesemnyango ngidawungena naso eParliament ukuthi ke lokuthi tinkundla tournaments tibe khona.
We had 2 candidates from the whole region.
Ngifisa ukuthi nasesikanye kanye nebahlonishwa sigijime sewakha umthetho lengubona ngathi uyaphuthuma uyasiphuthumela wekunaka umfana longumfana siyivale le gap ngoba ngathi sekusayele emuva ngakulelo hlangothi.
Iqiniso lithi akusibo hoho yedwa lo lomela phambi kwami khona ishiselo khona amanzini khona libombo lokusho ukuthi na ungikhetha ungiyise esigodini sakahoho kusho ukuthi enkundleni yakho kunesandla lososifaka ekhwapheni lo lesandla usasebenza umhlonishwa kutawendeka uphathe mabhabha ngaletandla letibili utawukhumbula mhlonishwa ukuthi khona lengamfihla.
Ngine-passion ke yekusebenta kakhulu ngaphandle etinkundleni ngingaligijima lelitubane bahlonishwa ngithanda ukuvetela ukuthi ngisagijima there are problems and things lengitibonile letidingeka kwetinkundleni ngafika la ngibona khona kwekuthi ngabe how about making i-culture ibe part of our curriculum in schools.
Kusifiso sami ukuthi ngingene emalunga lahloniphekile nginibambise ukuthi sithe abantu labasha sibone sithe nabomake emakhaya malunga lahloniphekile nemphana simkhutsate sukela mncane ukuthi akwadi ukutisebenda malunga lahloniphekile asisho ukuthi senda abamfana ukuthi siyaba abuse ngoba labanye batawuthi child labor akusiyo child labor malunga lahloniphekile sikhutsata ukuthi umfana akasebende sukela amncane.
Lengingasita ngako bahlonishwa endlini ukuthi sibukete le high rate ye unemployment ngekuthi siconvert na structure lesetima white elephants letinkhundleni lokuthiwa ngema youth centers ayabola. Ngisasebenta ngingimabhalane lengubonile ukuthi insha iidle yebo uhulumende simbonile usifakele internet etinkhundleni, but ayisebenzi productively.
And moving on, the House of Assembly has elected the House Business Committee. The committee consists of 6 members of parliament.
Following the induction conference of the 12th Parliament of the Kingdom of Eswatini last week, the House of Assembly convened on Monday at the Eswatini Examination Council of Eswatini for the organized campaigns of aspiring regional women members of Parliament. Upon finishing the morning session of the organized campaigns, the House then moved parliamentary work to the chambers of the House of Assembly, where the Speaker of the House, Jabulani Mabuza, in accordance with standing orders of the House, moved for the election of the House Business Committee. The committee consists of 6 members and they work closely with the Speaker of the House on parliamentary matters. The House in secondment basis. On the committee, they elected Lobamba Lomzala, Member of Parliament Mawik Kumalo, Sicelo Jele from Lamkapi, Prince Mshengo, Masesini, Member of Parliament Noktula Dlamini, Sifiso Shabalala from Dogotweni Inkundla, and Peggy Bandla Vilagati from Gwembisi Inkundla. The Speaker of the House on Monday then adjourned the House with the next sitting on Wednesday, where the House will be voting for the 4 regional women members of Parliament. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, I'm Samkal Siwekoza with Sikumbuzo Dlamini, Parliament.
Junior Achievement says it is their wish to expand membership in the number of schools where they operate in order to assist the youth in business. JA had a stakeholder engagement meeting where they were looking at their partnership with stakeholders and plans for next year. The meeting was held at the Mountain View in Babane on Monday.
Junior Achievement has an annual reach of 8,500 learners under its program. Under the job shadowing program, they wish to reach about 110 schools from 80 schools, meaning that there would be about 800 learners and the need for 120 companies for attachment. The Junior Achievement Director, Petsina Masilela, says they are happy to receive feedback from stakeholders.
We would also like to introduce a JA Digital Education Program. This is a standard digital education program by JA Africa. We call it JA DEEP, but the JA DEEP is an acronym for the JA Digital Education Program. There is a TV program for it, and then there is an online program for it, so that even other kids that are outside the schools that we will be focusing on can...
I now know what is expected in terms of support going forward.
It may also help to organize a joint field visit for all the partners to these projects, so that we can also witness and document. We never know where this can take us to when it is now compiled into a document of the success stories around what JA is doing.
The out-of-school youth have grown from 1,000 to 3,970 in the year 2023. Thus, the need for more sponsors to come on board for assistance. Junior Achievement says they have received support from financiers to support them. Reporting, I am Kian Msibi, Babane.
The Eswatini Building Society says its conversion to a bank will allow it to buy cars for customers, do overdrafts and produce credit cards, amongst other things. Speaking during a meeting with stakeholders at the Royal Villa in Eswatini, the General Manager, Leonard Dlamini, says being a bank will widen their scope of service, allowing them to deliver more diverse products to their customers.
In the year 2012, the Eswatini Building Society embarked on a journey to convert into a bank. The general manager explains what the conversion means, especially for permanent shareholders.
Once the society changes to be a commercial bank, it will change its form from being a society to a company, because you cannot apply for a banking license if you are a society. You can only apply for a bank license if you are a company. So we have to change from a society to a company, which means their permanent shares will change and become real company shares, which we call ordinary shares.
Eswatini Building Society has been operational for the past 61 years in the country, with 12,000 members having permanent shares. The bank has not specified when it will convert into a bank. but explained that it is now at a point where it wants to secure conversion conditions by the Central Bank, Financial Services Regulatory Authority, and the Ministry of Finance. For Eswatini TV News, Nelson Dlangamandla, Smuva Shongwe, Ezulwini.
In news making headlines around the world, the first group of 39 Palestinians wounded in Gaza has been flown to Tunisia for treatment, with the enclave's own hospitals overwhelmed.
Tunisia has been keen to show its support to Palestinians throughout the war. These people were injured today when dozens of Israel tanks attacked the southern part of Gaza, where residents of northern Gaza were forced to flee. A World Health Organization team visiting Nasser Hospital in southern Gaza found it packed with 1,000 patients, 3 times its capacity. The director of World Health Organization in Palestine highlighted that diseases are spreading quickly through overcrowded shelters, including housing in schools. Since the war began, more than 15,000 people have died, including about 6,000 children. According to the United Nations Humanitarian Agency, the death toll from Somalia's ongoing floods has risen to 110 people. Reports say more than 1 million people have been displaced and 2.4 million people impacted across several districts of that country. Somalians are warned of a high risk of disease spreading following reports of suspected causes of cholera and diarrhea in some states of the country. The United Nations agency added that only 30% of those impacted have received help, but at least 37 boats have been deployed to deliver supplies or evacuate those trapped in the floods. Reporting for Eswatini TV, Hampendulo Kumbi, visual sourced from France 24 and DW.
And now we'll have a look at our financial indicators.
Standard Bank. It can be.
Moving on to sports, Nyamane Classic will represent the Shiseleni region in the MVA Ingwenyama Cup finals after beating Combined FC in the Shiseleni regional playoffs.
Nyamane Classics proved to be too strong for Combine when they beat them by 3-0 in the finals of the Ingwenyama Cup regional playoffs. Nyamane Classic head coach had this to say on how they prepared for the game that helped them to win.
It was a very, very difficult game, but the game plan yet it was to take them in a tempo, because we understood that most of the players they are still young, so technically yes bakhona, but mawubathatha ngepace basheshe baphelelwe umoya, so besendela ukuthi at least since masifika towards the second half kube sekusettle.
Combined head coach Stanford Dlangamandla explained what made them to lose the game.
First half, still goalkeeper. Number 2 sasitekisha ekumakeni. Asibuyaka second half sasibafunzile ukuthi singabamba kanjani sibamba kuphi. Ngoku laba ingoti khona lokubamba ngakhona. So limete second half sekutela lokubabona.
Nyamane Classic will now represent the Shiseleni region in the Ingwenyama Cup main competition. Reporting for Eswatini TV Sports News, I am Patizwe Msibi with Thando Mdluli Hlangano.
The head coach of the Shiseleni Peak team that won the Build It Under-13 tournament, Nkosinathi Mkhaliphi, says they are looking at ways in which they can work with big teams in order to help their players grow in the sport.
The Eswatini Football Association had a Thanksgiving event where they appreciated the efforts and achievement of the Under-13 Build-Its champions. The tournament was played last month where they defeated other regions. Head coach of the team, Eswatini Mkhalip, highlighted programs they have that will promote the players.
So sifiso sethu is to continue sisebende nalabafana also by involving lama teams lamakhulu kule region lokufaka ekhathi i-Rangers nensingizini Hospes. Ngike ngaya ngayo ukukhulumisana nabo labo ensingizini Hospes bathi ke angilethi proposal ukuthi ngidayi-implementa kanjani le project. Kwanyalo ke ngicabanga ukuthi sise process yakwenda lokho.
Chairman of the Eswatini Football Association, Eswatini, says the main objective for them is to have more youth development games in the region.
Lebesihlangane ngako ngokuthi sitobonga ema-champions ethu ka-TDS ngema under-13 ethu appreciate i-development noma kumbe lisichaza labadlalile.
Kunene say they have lined up 5 youth games to start next year January. Reporting for Eswatini TV Sports News, I am Patizwe Msibi with Thando Mdluli, Hlangano.
That's all for now. Before I go, here's a reminder of our top stories. The Minister for Home Affairs encourages the ministry staff to work with integrity. The Minister of Tinkhundla says constituency headmen are supposed to be custodians of the Tinkhundla system of governance. The House of Assembly, in partnership with the Elections and Boundaries Commission, hosted organized campaigns for aspiring women regional members of parliament. And with that, it's a wrap. Up next is the weather update. And from myself and the team, many thanks for your company. Take care.
Bambelela siyajika ehlelweni lakho embili kanye njalo ngelisonto ngensimbi yesithupha nzambama sitobeke sihlalisene nenkapane yetemagesi Eswatini Electricity Company sikulethela basemagesini bakhulumisa ke